Did you hear that click?
I didn't hear the click, but the
Okay.
podcast has officially started.
I know. It's okay. I'm Shauna Dorsey with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative powered by Exarban, and also now with Intern Any powered by Exarban. Here with my co-host,
Brian Poppy. I work at Mutual of Omaha.
And you know what? I never said what we're here for. We're here with the 10 Podcast Tech Entrepreneurs Nebraska.
It's a 10-minute podcast. No cuts. No retakes.
Edits.
No edits.
No retakes.
Yeah. Except for the one time we had to do a retake.
Okay. One time.
We ran it long, but it's fine. Joined today by Rachel Fox. Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're glad you're here.
Great.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah.
So we were chatting earlier and you said you'd been in tech I guess I didn't ask you Nebraska, but at least in tech for 20 something years.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about your career arc, and then we can talk about, you've got a really interesting dissertation that I want to get into as well.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I actually got my stomping grounds at Mutual of Omaha. I was one of their youngest insurance sales agents at 18. And I've been in the tech space ever since then. Customer service, QA analyst, which I hated, by the way, project management, technical support. And I just really found a love for all things technology, what's behind the curtain. And I really just wanted to dive into the things that people thought were so complex and complicated. And so I just found myself in a variety of roles. I also taught myself how to design websites, which is kind of how I stepped out onto my own in 2017 when I launched my own business, designing websites and consulting with different organizations, individuals, and things like that on how to rebrand and show up as their best selves online. And so, yeah, that's kind of the arc right now. I'm back in corporate as a senior leader, manager of learning and development. So I get to develop the people that serve the technical sector. So we're in telecom. I work for a company called ConnectBase, and we're a SaaS-enabled company helping buyers and sellers of connectivity do business. And I like what I do. And I still get to do the tech thing, the people thing, and I still have my side hustle designing websites. I have a nonprofit organization that really empowers girls and women to be at their best. And one of the arms that we lean on is getting girls and women involved in tech. There are not enough of us there, not enough Black women, Black girls in tech. And that's something that really lights my fire. So, yeah.
That's great. So Rachel and I met, maybe 2016, 17. I can't remember at this point, but our friend Victoria Novak connected us. And one of the things that Brian and I often talk about is how important it is to build and maintain relationships here in Nebraska. That's like literally how many of us get a lot done, is through our networks, and also how Nebraskans are very humble. So I love that we invited you here, and many of our guests for sure, but you for sure, to talk about what it is that you do, because it's really, I think, interesting for people to hear all of the different roles that you've held, what you're doing today, and that you're still like very passionate about the women and girls in tech piece through, what's your nonprofit again?
You Go Girl.
Okay. And can you tell us about some of the things that you do through that, like maybe kind of how it started and what's coming up?
Yeah. So the genesis of You Go Girl is my daughter, Genesis. And the story behind that is she overcame a very terrible critical disease in 2016, which is what led me to step away from my corporate job in the first place, to be a caregiver to her. And she overcame that illness, and she began to get bullied in school. And as a mama bear, I have 11 kids, by the way. And as a mama bear, I hate to see my kids being attacked in any way. And there was no way she was going to fight that illness and then also have to fight in school. So bullying and self-esteem and empowering girls and women really just started, the epicenter of that was her. And it grew from there. I always say this, my first community is my family. If I can't build them up, I'm not going to leapfrog over them and try to be anything in the community. I'm going to stay right there where they are. And that's really the bedrock of everything that I do. And so You Go Girl really started to empower, encourage, and inspire girls and women everywhere. And we started at AIM. And that's where I met Shauna, and she really was instrumental in opening up a lot of doors. And, connections are currency. You have to maintain them. You have to build them authentically. And that's really what has allowed us to be here today. So we do programs. We collaborate with other organizations that build up girls and women, like Girls Inc., the Eureka Program, Mystery Code Society, other organizations that really uplift girls and women. We're not. We don't have to do it all. We don't want to do it all.
Right.
We want to shine a light on whoever's doing the most good and align with them. And so whether it's speaking to girls, showing up at workshops, designing something new, continuing our staple program, which is Code Club, that we partner with Metro Community College year over year. And we're so thankful that it keeps going and girls keep coming back, which is so funny. We call them repeat offenders because they keep like showing up for the like, are you guys serious? We keep running the same program where it's not any different. And they're like, yeah, we just love it. So so those are some of the things that we're doing, that we've been doing. And then some of the things that we were looking forward to, may have a magazine in the future, something like a STEM fest for girls, more collaboration and alignment with Girls Inc. So those are some 3 things that we're looking forward to in the near future. And also just getting into other sectors where girls and women are underrepresented, like music, arts, and those types of things, and aligning there.
Awesome.
I don't know how you're like getting anything done. Like you've got 11 kids. You just described like 3 jobs, and
Yeah.
and you have a podcast. Hold on. What's the name of the podcast so people can find it?
The podcast is called Girl, Let Me Tell You How Great You Are. And it is a podcast that I host along with my friend Kara Kirsch. And we've been doing that for maybe a little over a year. And we just really want to focus in on the things that women face. We have all kinds of episodes we went through, going through our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, building relationships, business, how to set boundaries, goals, all kinds of things that we talk about on that podcast. So yeah, I'm really thankful to have that going on with her.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah.
And just to have like a platform where you can talk about different topics, because like sometimes, not to make this about us, but sometimes Brian and I will end up in a conversation with someone and it goes like super deep. I'm like, how did that even happen? We're just like, let's just see where this goes. So I like that you do topical. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Speaking of super deep, you had a theory that you were sharing earlier. Do you want to
let's hear it.
clue us in again?
Oh, you're talking about, okay, so I am a doctoral student. So pretty soon, 2025, you'll be calling me Dr. Fox. I will require that everywhere I go.
You earned it.
I earned it, and it's hella expensive. So anyway, so my topic of theory in your doctoral program, you have to get super focused on a subject, and it can't just be women in leadership. So I picked Black women in tech leadership. There are not enough of us there. And I really want to understand and excavate why that is. Okay. And so my theory is, when the great resignation happened, all that, people were leaving work. A lot of Black women were leaving the workforce too, and they were creating their own ecosystems. And I wonder how many of those women were in the tech sector. And my question of theory is, do we remain in corporate, trying to climb the proverbial ladder of the pie in the sky, C-suite, executive suite, or do we step away and create our own epicenters where Black women can thrive and we bring others with us? And so that's the question of theory that I'm going with. And I think that there's space for both. And there are, in my research, there are many, many examples where women of color are really just providing that mentorship, that leadership, that guidance. They're blazing the trails for others. And then there's others that say, you know what, I'm going to create my own. And that's what I'm looking forward to getting my studies into more of, as the year is going.
Yeah. And it's interesting because tech leadership is so broad, right? So you could go like the PMO route, the software engineering officer. Like there's so many different avenues. So anyway, we're excited to see your final paper. Or it's not a paper, it's like a dissertation. That's like the final
Oh my
thing,
God.
Right?
It's
See what you come up with.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. So it's a project, whatever it ends up being. And hopefully I'm alive at the end. So
We'll be cheering you on.
Rachel, you've been a great guest.
Yeah,
Thanks for
welcome
joining us
anytime.
today.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. And
You can
we
look
made
for
it.
Rachel literally anywhere because she is everywhere. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Bye, you guys.